everybody. Welcome back to a special episode of Saratoga by Night, because our cast is on strike because I'm working them 15 hours a day and not paying them. I'm kidding. They're not on strike. They just wanted a break from recording. Except the good news is Liam wasn't able to get out in time before I locked the doors on the sweatshop, on the podcast sweatshop.
Help me.
So now he's here for a very special episode this week. Won't be a long one, but it'll be an interesting one. You'll get to know where Charlie has been for the past, for like 15 weeks. A 15-week period of episodes. Where Charlie actually was working, but where Charlie was in the story, well, I guess you'll find out. Anyways.
Where Liam was working.
Yes, where Liam was working. Where Charlie was, well, you'll find out. Anyways. The night is, as it should be, as it always is, dark, quiet, and you are stalking your prey.
Unwillingly.
At the orders of someone else, you are stalking your prey.
Well, I'm not totally alone.
No, you're not totally alone. You never are.
Yeah, well, Timmy... I don't think I have Tammy. What is... I can never remember what the name that Mags has for their rat. That I don't think is the name that I gave them.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
But I have Tammy.
Yes, you have Tammy.
Tara and
You've got
Donald.
A whole bunch of rats.
Yeah.
As the weeks went on as the days went on without your friends, you've been spending more time mastering your abilities, your control over animals, your control over the darkness. And now you finally feel ready to face down the man or the thing that made you what you are.
Gulp.
Yes, you are on orders from Gideon, because you aren't the only one who was turned. Well, you were the only one that was turned. You were not the only one who was fed on, drained, and killed.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a problem when a bunch of bodies start turning up in dumpsters across the city. Gains eyes of the police.
Everybody should just feed on animals.
Yeah.
Everything will be a lot easier. I don't get it.
Volume.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Everybody
We're
should
sitting
be...
on the floor of my dorm around a snowball microphone.
Everybody should be vampire vegan.
Yeah, which is eat animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
I try not to kill them.
You try.
Unless I want to succeed.
Yeah. Anyways.
Horses and cows are good sources.
You found...
Anyway.
Yeah. You found... You were able to track your sire to a sewer treatment plant outside of Saratoga Springs. It's dark, but the area around the building is illuminated by spotlights. Of course, there are gaps in the spotlights. It's not like a military base or anything. But the interior of the building is dark, except for the occasional light passing by a window of a guard on patrol with his flashlight.
That, does not matter.
No, it does not.
Because with my new ability, Ghost in the Machine, my new stand power, Ghost in the Machine, they can't see me with anything. I can walk past them, invisible to their eyes and to their technological devices.
So, yes, as you walk up to the gates of the water treatment plant, you can see security cameras panning back and forth. You're rolling rouse checks. Yes,
indeed I am. 1.
Fail. Oh.
Oh, that's bad. All right. Hunger.
Yeah, it's 1 hunger. That's fine.
That's fine. I'm well fed.
As you walk past the security cameras, you look up at them, and your first instinct is to duck and cover, but then you realize, wait a minute, I've been practicing. You started practicing. I'm good. Started trying to use your webcam on your computer to see what you could do and what it looked like, and you figured out, it was always picking you up. But after a few days of blinking in and out, or a few nights, I guess.
I think I figured that out after.
Yeah.
Stealing from a grocery store, a gas station too many times, they started catching me on their videotapes and putting up signs. I was like,
pretty
they
quickly,
can see me in their cams. I should do something.
But with using your webcam to practice, you were able to train yourself to evade them, to even confuse the optical sensors on the cameras. You walk past a snoozing guard, his hat covering his eyes, and you are in the water treatment plant. All you know is that this is your host's, your sire's base of operations. You don't know how many men he has with him. You don't know if he has any men with him. You don't know what he's capable of.
I also don't know if I have any weapons. I don't think I do. I think I have a knife.
Yeah, you do have a knife.
That's the extent of my...
What, you didn't bring the underbarrel flamethrower?
I got rid of that.
I know.
Because once the
fire and vampires don't mix.
Yeah, once the blood rage ran off, Charlie was rather horrified at the people he had incinerated.
Yeah. To be fair, they were... they totally deserved it.
Yeah, they killed my rats. And they were going to kill my friends.
And a bunch of other people.
Yeah, so...
people who weren't involved.
Even so, Charlie doesn't like killing.
Yeah.
Which makes this mission fun.
Yeah, you don't...
Gideon did tell me to deal with him,
yes.
Right?
Just make him not a problem anymore.
To Saratoga.
Yeah. He can be someone else's problem.
I don't have an idea.
Though generally, displacing kindred is a very hard proposition to sell. Because it's risky to travel long distances. Because, ship yourself in a crate. What if someone cracks open the crate or drops it while they're transporting you and it's daylight and you burst into flames and die?
I know a terrifying short story along those lines about a guy. It's going off topic, but it's a good.
Go for it.
It's a good little story. Go on r/nosleep. Great subreddit for creepy short stories. But a guy whose neighbor did a prank thing where he shipped himself in a crate all over the world.
Oh no.
And then
first things first, you fly in the air and suffocate? Is that what happens?
Yeah. Anyway, this guy, his neighbor is standing around. Like it's like a couple weeks, and finally, but yes, he gets flown around and stuff. Finally, a box comes to like his. Pretty sure I'm telling this wrong. The gist of it is that the box comes back with the neighbor, and the guy is dragging this box back, and he drops it, and he hears a crunch, but he doesn't know that the neighbor's in it, and he like brings it back into his neighbor's garage form or something. Then he smells a sickening smell, and the police get called or something. The neighbor has you should edit this out. But the neighbor had like a camcorder of everything, and he was totally fine up until
he got dropped.
Up until he got dropped.
Oh, that's not a fun. Well,
Harry, edit this out. That was a terrible talk of the story.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna keep it in it. I don't have time because I have work to do after this, and this episode goes up in 3 hours. So, yeah, professionalism.
We are professional.
Yeah, we're good at this. Speaking of professionalism, I'll plug it after the show instead of during. Okay.
Anyway,
you're in the water treatment plant.
Where would a vampire hide in the water or sewage treatment plant?
Yeah, sewage treatment plant. Treatment plant. Same.
Yeah, I'm guessing he would hide somewhere near the bottom, somewhere in like the tunnels that I'm sure are beneath this plant, or at least like the maintenance corridors or something.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I'm going to. I have an idea. I'm going to scatter my rat swarm.
All right.
The instructions that they are to find every other rat that's in here, contact the other colonies, and start assembling. Contact the other colonies and start assembling them.
All right. That will be
around me.
A wits animal can roll. Okay. Add your animalism to that too.
Wits, animal, ken, and animalism.
So that will be...
I don't have enough dice.
So then make multiple rolls.
That's 10 dice.
So let's just say you succeed.
Yeah.
Because on average, you would succeed more than enough.
Yeah. I can still roll it. You never know.
You don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't see you failing this unless you roll all zeros.
But it's possible.
Or all ones. Yeah, you're welcome to.
Possible.
Okay, he's gonna roll.
Oh yeah, that's already 4 successes.
Yep.
7, 7, 7, 7, or
5. That's
3,
5
7.
successes because that was a 0 there, which is a 10.
Oh.
That's 5 successes already.
I forgot about that. Plus 3 more.
Yeah.
So 8 successes to gather the rats.
So yeah, that was a difficulty 3 roll. So I think you got it. The rats, diplomacy. They send their little envoys. They bring gifts of whatever crumbs you had in your sweater.
Yep.
and
I have lots of crumbs and snacks.
including a few chunks of zombie Nosferatu flesh to ghoul some of the rats in the water treatment facility, so you have more versatile control over them.
Yes.
And within only 10 minutes or so, you have a network of eyes and ears spreading like a nervous system across the sewage treatment plant.
All right, I'm gonna. I can now send with subsume the spirit. I can send my consciousness into my rats.
Yes, you can.
So I will do that in order to converse.
Into one of them or all of them?
I feel like going into all of them would be terrifying.
Is it possible?
I don't think it is. I think it's into like one creature.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because splitting myself into a swarm, like splitting my mind,
becoming like a tyrannid hive mind.
Oh, I hate that. I don't think Charlie's good with that.
That'll be badass, though.
It certainly would. So he will instead send it into one rat in order to converse with the other. Actually, I don't really need to. I can just talk to my rats.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask them if they know of any non-human humanoid creatures that live here.
Okay, so you rather quickly receive squeaking and chattering back down the mental landline, I guess you could call it, telling you of a dark place underneath the main water storage tanks. Yeah, where they avoid, since any rats that go down there tend to not come back.
That is exactly what I'm looking for. I thank them. And I'm going to send my mind into the body of one of the new rats. I'm going to send my mind into the body of one of the new rats.
Brilliant.
And I'm going to hide my body somewhere where there's no one looking, and I'm going to...
So you're inside the sewer treatment plant. Are you outside still?
No, I'm inside.
Okay, so you've gone through the main gates, you've gone into the main building.
I'm going to find a little dark corner.
Okay. There's like a little locker room. Some of the lockers are open. You could probably shove yourself inside one.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, you shove yourself in a locker, close it, disappear, and then send your mind into one of the rats.
Indeed.
Do you have to make a rouse check? Or?
Let's see. Subsume the spirit. Yes. No, it's free if used on Famulus.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I will.
You got a whole bunch of them, so.
Oh, I certainly do.
Yeah.
So I will do that.
You are now in the mind of one of your rats.
Yes.
Would you like to be near? Because you have rats all over. Would you like to be near the place, or in the immediate vicinity of the?
I'm gonna take the rat to the place where the rats.
Okay, so
go,
you
so it doesn't really
assume the body of a rat near the maintenance shaft below the main water storage tanks. You can kind of like see almost in your vision, almost like echolocation. Every little squeak is pinging something off, and you can pretty much tell that there are thousands of rats in this sewer treatment plant. In fact, there are thousands of rats everywhere because it's, they're rats. They're everywhere all the time, forever.
I love them.
Yes.
And Charlie does.
They are
I think
so well adapted.
In real life, rats are adorable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Brown rats, I think, are the cute ones. I kind of want one because they're so sweet.
And they're smart.
They're really nice, too.
Yeah.
Like, they're really kind little animals. I think black rats are the ones that I probably have, and the not nice ones.
Yeah, you got all sorts of rats.
I don't know too much about rats, though.
All sorts of various sizes and shapes. No New York City subway rats that are the size of dogs.
Oh, the tanks. My bruisers. I need to get a few of those.
Travel around the world collecting rats of various shapes and sizes.
Dire rats.
Going to, getting a capybara, because that's technically a rodent.
I love capybaras.
The capybara is your support class. Your tanks are the New York subway rats.
Yep.
Go to the Princess Bride or is it, what's the name of the place?
Rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, what's the name of the country? Is it Gilead? No, it's... Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're very off topic because my medications weren't off, so my ADHD is running rampant. That's fun.
I dabbed. You can
see. The maintenance tunnel is very dark. Very, very pitch black. You can't really see down there, not as a rat. Even though rats have excellent vision in the dark, the amount of light shining in there is so low that you're practically blind. Of course, you can still hear, and you can still smell. And while it is relatively quiet, except for the dripping of a few leaky pipes, some condensation, you can smell the unmistakable odor of death.
Smells like me.
Yeah, it smells like you, yep.
It smells a lot like me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Do you press on?
Yeah. I want to. This is a scouting mission to see what's in there.
Yes, you scurry down the tunnel.
I don't want to walk into a trap.
Give me a stealth plus dex.
Okay.
Just as you, because...
Yep.
Well, there's no reason. Really, I should make you roll for rat stats, but I think...
rat's dexterity probably great. It's probably
if you know... Fun fact, World of Darkness, if any of you listeners are familiar or not, World of Darkness, cats in World of Darkness have crazy stats and can straight up kill you.
Oh, good like AD&D.
Yeah.
Wow, so only 2 successes.
All right. That's enough to get you in.
Nice. On 7 dice, 2 successes.
You squeak around a bit, and as you enter, you see that there are bones. Not just the bones of rats or deer or any other animal that was able to be snagged, but bones of people, too.
Come on, dude. Clean up. Tidy up.
Clothing, trinkets. There's a pile of trinkets. Car keys, coins, wallets, licenses, watches, all just sitting in a pile in this moldy, dank intersection between the pipes. And as you sort of take note of this, you hear something behind you, and then your connection with a rat severs.
That probably didn't feel great. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's very jarring.
Jerked back. Oof. I know where he lives now. I know how to get there. But it would seem that... Sorry, I'm talking very quietly. I'm approaching him on his home turf. I think it would be best if it would be best if I got him out of his home turf and his home tunnels. It's night. It's
yeah,
nighttime,
it is
right?
nighttime.
I'm gonna go, and is there like a scrap of paper somewhere around here? Like, kind of like nick a pencil or a pen from like some unintended.
You probably
offense.
have one in your pocket.
Yeah.
You got all sorts of junk.
Write down. I'm gonna write a little note.
Okay. What will it say?
Something like, your spawn has returned. Make it sound
something dramatic as fuck.
Something very dramatic.
Okay.
Your spawn has returned. Meet me beneath the water tower. Is there a water tower?
Not nearby.
What's a nice little... As I was walking in, did I see a nice little spot where no one's gonna see us?
Give me a wits and awareness roll.
Sweet. My wits is not bad, and neither is... okay, my awareness isn't great, but crazier things have happened. 1 success.
All right. There are a few shadows, but none big enough to host a duel of the fates between two highly skilled Nosferatu.
Okay. I mean, how quiet is this locker room?
I mean, there's still people on shift, so you could be disturbed at any time. Now,
seems like, I'm betting there's always people on shifts.
Yes.
I'm writing this note in a corner using my Cloak of Shadows. Where should we have our little showdown? Perhaps... Is there a roof?
There is. However, you figure that he's probably smart enough that he's gonna fight on his own turf.
Yeah.
You could always flush him out or lure him out.
idea.
Wash him out?
I have an idea of how I want to do this, though, and how I think that I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
I don't want to kill him. I really don't want to kill him. Even though Charlie hates this guy's guts.
Yeah.
Charlie's life wasn't great before. And honestly, being a vampire means he has some friends now.
Yep.
And people that he has stuff in common with.
A bunch of rats who he can mind meld with.
Yeah, I think Charlie would have rather still be alive.
Yeah.
And is kind of mad at this guy.
Almost everyone would.
Yeah. But he still doesn't want to kill him.
All right.
So I want to drive him away from this place. And the only way that I can do that is to prove my dominance over him. And the only way to do that is to show off my powers. And I have two very good things. I have two very powerful disciplines that work well together for an impressive display of power.
Volume.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So we'll see if he comes to the roof. I'm gonna send him. I'm gonna find a piece of paper, write a message like, "Hi, remember me? It's Charlie, kid who you turned. I'm back. I just want to talk. I want somebody to teach me about being Nosferatu."
Quite intimidating. Anyways, you sending this with a rat?
Yes, I'm gonna have a rat crunch in his taking
this
his teeth.
You can do that. The rat unfortunately meets the same fate as the other one.
It'll be one of the new rats.
One of the new ones gets crunched.
And I'm gonna go to the roof, and I'm going to use Cloak of Shadows.
All right.
To hide. I'm sure he can maybe smell me somewhere, but I'll try to hide on something high up and upwind.
Now, as you climb to the roof,
wherever the way onto the roof is.
Yes, as you
I'm
climb,
gonna have my rats start to pool, or start to gather around where they could swarm up the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And
as you pass to get to the roof, you have to go up the stairs, through the pump control room. Give me a wits and awareness roll as you pass through the pump control room.
Sure. Oh, it was an 8.
Yep, that.
5s are failures, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So 1 success.
Would you like to spend a willpower to re-roll those fails?
I can do that?
Yes.
Shit. Yeah, I guess I can re-roll all the fails?
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, I will certainly do that. Yeah.
2 more
3 successes. And
well, that's just temporary willpower damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is good enough. Fortunately for you, as you pass by, you see emergency storage tank release valve, and there is a valve on the wall that it's big enough that you'd have to put some strength into it to turn it, but you think you could.
Yeah, I busted through a door. Well, actually, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Emergency tank release valve. I'm gonna look around for what I think where that tank might be.
Mm-hmm. So as you look around, you see on the wall there's a map of all the pipes and all that, and it's pretty extensive, including showing the maintenance hatches. And it appears that this valve is connected to an emergency release for the 4 main water tanks in the facility, which are above this hatch, or above this tunnel. These, of course, the tanks are massive, hundreds of thousands of gallons, or however big a tank normally is. And it seems that turning this valve would release all of the tanks into just empty them out into the surrounding area.
Which would probably drain into the facility and down into the pipes.
I guess we would have to find out.
Well, that's a backup plan.
That is a backup plan if he doesn't show up.
Yeah. So I'll go onto the rooftop.
And how long would you like to wait?
We'll wait for an hour.
An hour comes and goes.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming.
No. I think he's more than, at least from what you know of his behavior, he's probably more than happy to sit in the darkness of his maintenance tunnel and wait for you to get impatient and come down.
Yeah, I'm not willing to do that. So these water tanks are outside the facility?
They are in the facility right above the,
right.
right above the
They're in
tunnels.
that pump control room.
They are in that, not in the pump control room. The pump control room is separate from the room. So think of it
I
yeah.
get you. It's
it
like
overlooks,
overlooking. Yeah. Okay.
So that worst case scenario, the pump control room doesn't get flooded.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go through the facility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go unseen passage. I'm just gonna go quietly.
Yes.
And stick to the shadows and avoid anybody who's around there. And I'm going to close and like break, twist the doorknobs on.
Yeah.
Using some like vampire strength. All the doors, trying to like sort of seal them shut.
Yes.
All the doors except the ones that lead towards that section of the tunnel.
Good thinking. Good thinking. You won't have to roll for that. Breaking a door is beyond easy for you. You're very strong. And so you using the many maps for fire safety evacuations or evacuations in the event of flooding, you're able to tell which doors you need to seal, which bulkheads, because there are some pretty heavy bulkheads meant to stop a flood in one room from carrying over to the other.
Perfect.
And so you seal them off and then use your strength to like twist the metal struts so that it can't ever be opened again unless sawed through.
Yeah.
The doors are closed.
And then all the doors except the ones.
Except for that you have made a path leading directly where you'd like it to go.
And I'm gonna tell all the rats to get to higher ground.
Yes. The rats immediately start scurrying. You can kind of feel their panic as they climb up the rafters of the building and nest, startling a few pigeons who had taken up roosts.
Nah, it's that area now.
But
I could put myself into a bird.
You could.
Holy shit!
As you look around, you can see the roughly 10,000 pairs of rat eyes in the rafters above, sort of glinting down at you, watching.
I'd be terrified if they weren't all my friends.
Yeah, if they weren't on your side, this would be a bizarre sight.
Yeah. I'm going to hit the release valves. I'm probably going to hit one and then another. Like let it start to really build up.
Yes.
So that the wash doesn't blow out the doors.
Yeah.
Like boom, wait 5 seconds, boom, wait 5 seconds, boom, wait 5 seconds, boom.
So the first switch is pulled and the first tank of water drains in seconds. The system, the water evacuation system is incredibly efficient. Of course, it is not a clean evacuation. This system is the emergency override. So it's designed to like literally blow out the sides of the tank just to get the stuff out of it. Yeah. And about 5 feet of water is now in this massive room. It's now there's about 5 feet of water on the ground. Slowly draining into several different tunnels, but
let's just pull the next 3.
You pull them all, and rather quickly, you feel the building shudder. And then the water starts draining a lot faster. You can see the maintenance hatch. There are a few maintenance hatches, and you can see water. You hear the water, and you feel the building rumbling, and then out of these maintenance tunnels sprays water like geysers up into the air. Yikes. And you see what you think is a body.
Shoot up on a geyser.
As well as a pile of watches, wallets, all sorts of stuff is now raining down out of these geysers.
Are these on the outside of the or in this building?
In this building. It is chaos in this room.
Okay.
Millions of dollars in damage.
Yeah.
Ruined sewer hideout.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody who's working here, but this guy needs to be dealt with.
The figure immediately sprints to one of the bulkheads and tries to get it open, but to no avail. You have sealed it shut. Even with his vampiric strength, he tries to wrench it off of its hinges. Not going to happen. It can withstand hundreds of thousands of pounds of pressure, right?
Yeah.
He tries to punch through it. Also not going to happen. And
I'm going to punch out the glass on the observation deck.
All right. You punch out the glass without suffering any damage from the falling glass. That's what I just rolled for.
And then I can like do a superhero leap and land.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I'll do a superhero land.
Are you gonna aim for like one of the walkways so you don't just land in the water?
Yes.
Because it's a huge amount of water now.
Yeah.
So you onto the walkway. That'll be a Dex Athletics.
Sure. I'm good at those things.
Yeah, shit. Drop some shit.
Nice. 4 successes.
Yeah, you land like a pro. Just playing this dark hoodied figure, landing on the walkway.
I'm trying to look more
in this
cool than
scene
I feel.
of chaos with thousands upon thousands of rats staring down at you.
Yeah. I'm going to I'm doing the clang on the walkway loud enough that I hope he hears it.
You fell a good few stories, so you're assuming if he's paying attention, he heard it.
Can I still see him from here?
Yeah, he's now like up to his waist in water, trying to find a doorway that isn't sealed.
Okay.
But you've been thorough.
Yes.
You have been so very thorough.
I'm gonna jump down from that catwalk onto the. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait for the water to drain a little bit more.
You as he goes and makes his rounds from bulkhead to bulkhead, trying to get out. The water is now drained to the point where it's like knee deep.
As he's like a little bit away from the only door that's out of here, I'm gonna jump down in front of that door.
Ooh. As he rushes to the last door, whoomph! In front of him stands Charlie.
Dark hooded figure, knees trembling slightly, but not slightly enough for it to be picked up.
He is a hideous figure wearing nothing but really just a pair of ragged, torn pants. Jeans, pretty much. His skin is pallid and kind of, you can see the veins, they're dark purple, some of them black. His eyes are massive like bats. He has these long pointy ears and teeth that are easily 3 inches long, each of them. So he looks very inhuman. Yes. And he sort of hisses at you, just...
Hey. Look up.
He sort of, you see his hands like go into claws, his fingernails extending, and he snarls at you, but then something does catch his eye, and he looks up and freezes.
I'm gonna send the commander for them to start climbing down the walls.
The rats start to climb down the walls and the support columns, and
when he looks back at me, I will have vanished.
Yeah, and they have. You pass the rouse check too. God, this is dramatic. I love it. The rats climb down the walls, turning the wall. Each wall is now just a writhing mass of fur. Yeah. As they all coalesce around this one Nosferatu, he sort of backs up a bit as far as he can, trying not to bump into you. Of course, then he turns to face you because, well, I can't handle these rats. Maybe I can handle this punk. And then you are gone. Yeah. And where have you gone?
I'm above the doorway.
You are above the doorway now. He looks around for you, to no avail, now surrounded by rats.
Yeah. I'm gonna have the rats like scurry towards him, but and cover the doorway, like cover all his escapes, and then stop about 5 feet short of him, and then start circling.
So the rats are now doing a little circle around him, and there's a pile of rats that's a few feet thick now, covering this doorway. Squirming and writhing. It is, if you are afraid of rats, then if you're ratophobic,
even if you're not ratophobic,
yeah, this is something that would fucking mess you up. Even him and his, after spending decades feeding on rats, he's now thinking, looks like karma's reared its head.
They come back for him. Oh boy.
They've organized.
Atop my rat throne, I'll drop my invisibility and take off my hood.
It is a bit like a throne because they've piled up to like where you're sitting.
Yeah.
So it does look like you are sitting on a throne of rats. Which, talk about some karma. He looks up at you. You can see he is terrified. This is not a face that you would normally associate with feeling anything short of terror. He is normally the one instilling it. But there is something primal in his eyes that you can see. He wants to run, but he can't. Rats one way, rats the other.
Rats everywhere.
What are you? He says.
You don't I guess you don't remember me. That makes sense. And just, that kid you bit and left in a dumpster.
I've bit a lot of...
Yeah, I know. But this is my town now, and you're not welcome here anymore. You need to find somewhere else to bite people.
Real convincing. Give me a manipulation plus intimidation.
Yeah.
With your animalism as a bonus, because you do have all your fucking animals helping you here.
Yeah. Well, I could be more intimidating, but Charlie isn't.
No, he's not a scary guy.
The talking is not the best part. All right, 2 successes from the animalism. And then was it manipulation and intimidation?
Yep.
Okay. 2 + 1, 3.
All right. He looks you over, up and down. He looks around him. And he pauses, and he thinks. This isn't your town. This isn't my town either. On whose authority do you invade my domain?
Gideon's.
Ugh, Gideon. Why do you listen to Gideon?
Well, I'm not really a big fan of Gideon, but I owe him a favor, and honestly, I don't want you turning anyone else into people like me. The more I think about it, the more I don't want you turning people into things like me anywhere else.
Well, then I suppose that's how it'll be.
I suppose so.
His teeth start to grow.
I drown him.
Just in rats?
Drown him.
I mean, there's not even a roll I can make for this because there's so many rats. I mean, no matter what he pulled with his protean, with his potence, he could activate everything and still just... There's too many.
There's too many.
I mean, and he certainly fights. He's swinging his claws. You can see him slicing through dozens and dozens of rats, tearing them to pieces in his teeth, crushing them underfoot. But in less than 10 seconds, he is completely overwhelmed, reduced to a screaming mass of just writhing fur and gnashing teeth and claws. And eventually the screaming stops, and the rats sort of dissipate, and all there is a skeleton, really. He's completely gone, and the skeleton then crumbles to dust, and the dust is taken away by a draft. That would be another stain on your humanity, Charlie.
Yep. Well, it was for a good cause.
It was for a very good cause.
Oof, I've gone from 8 humanity to 5.
Yeah, yep. Oof.
Yikes. Well,
and that.
Hold on a sec. These rats have taken. They lost a lot.
They lost at least 100 and something.
They didn't deserve that much. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go and rob Price Chopper invisibly.
Yes.
And get them a whole bunch of snacks.
All right, you
some,
do
like,
that.
Doritos, some Oreos, some like meats. They get them a little.
You
feast.
you steal the shopping cart too. Like you fill a shopping cart with shit and just run. Nobody can stop you because no one can see you. If anybody were to check the footage, it would look like a shopping cart filling itself and leaving the store of its own volition.
Yeah, I can as Cloak the Gathering. I think I can cloak the shopping cart as well.
Probably,
Stuff
honestly.
just disappears from the shelves.
Yeah, just very, very confused small business owners now.
Yeah, it's Price Chopper.
Yeah,
They're
it's
a corporation.
chain. Yeah, you aren't hurting anyone by doing that.
No.
Yeah, so you end up spending a little bit more in the sewer treatment plant, just eating a dinner of junk food with the rats. And with that, we will end tonight's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know this was a short one, but we were doing it on short notice. I hope you enjoyed nonetheless.
Nice little short story.
Yes. Liam, do you have anything to plug?
Not really.
Okay. Liam is Liam. He's a cool guy. Be his friend. I don't know.
I'll make a Twitter at some point.
He'll make a Twitter at some point, and we'll plug it later. I have a bunch to plug. We are Beef Machine on YouTube at Beef M Official on Twitter. Saratoga by Night also on Twitter. At Saratoga, Saratoga by Night. Or if you just look that up, you'll find it. I am at Harry_Wyckoff. Very, very exciting, fun news, by the way.
Ooh?
Yes, I am appearing in a Onyx Path live stream, or now a series that they're going to live stream, of Changeling the Lost. I will be playing, where's my character sheet? I got it right here. I will be playing Nathan Kelly, Changeling, it's Changeling the Lost game, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays. Please come and tune in. I promise you will enjoy it. It's run by the Primogen, who is, he's the lore guy on YouTube. Look him up on YouTube. He makes fantastic lore videos about the World of Darkness and Vampire the Masquerade. Leave a rating, leave a comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And
ring that bell.
Yeah, ring that bell. Smash that like button. And we will see you next time. Take care.